What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Black Belt Barber podcast, the first podcast that talks about entrepreneurship for beautypreneurs, barbers, nail tech, massage. Every single one of you that are listening to this podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Invictus Podcast Studios, and today I have a special guest. But let me talk about him real quick before we start. He's a friend, long time ago. We became a friend at the barbershop that we started working at, like about 2002, right? Around that time?
Yeah, around 2002.
Almost 2 decades ago. And I have the owner. He came from Boston, visit us at the shop today. And today we're here kind of chatting and talking about life, about the struggles we've been, the experiences, and how he thrive in life, how he succeed, and I believe this is gonna help a lot. And Joshua is Josué
In Portuguese,
in
yeah.
Portuguese. Josh is abbreviation of Joshua,
Yes, a short name for Joshua.
a short name for Josh.
Uh-huh.
So, guys, Josh is a good friend of mine. we
Like that.
we start cutting head together, and today I'm like very glad he's here, and I'm happy for his success. And we're about to chat here today. Josh, introduce yourself. Tell these people who you are, what you have done in life, what your achievements. Tell them. Introduce yourself first before we start chatting here.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me here. I really appreciate it. So my name is Josh. I have a couple barbershops, 5 barbershops in Boston area, the greater Boston area. And I've been doing this for a while now. I started with Tico at our first real barbershop. Before that, just play around with hair with friends, family, like every other barber. And you know, barbering's been good to me. This career's been really good to me. It's been taking care of me and my family, and also, you know, been taking care of everything I needed. It provided to me, and I thank God for that. And you know, achieved some great things. Still have some more things to achieve, you know. But you know, in God's timing, we'll see what He has planned for us. But that's pretty much it. I don't know. Do you
Man,
want to break down a little bit more, or that's
We're
good?
gonna go into it.
Okay,
We
cool.
have all night until like 3 in the morning.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna give you the key. I'm gonna leave, and then you keep talking by yourself. No, just kidding. So, barbering gave everything I have, too. And first I put God, and then my beautiful, sexy wife. She's everything in my life. She's responsible for my success. She's everything for me. So barbering gave me everything and helped me become who I am and achieve all that I have achieved. But the thing is, I didn't explain what's the name of the barbershop and the famous people you used to cut, right? But let me tell, Josh is the owner of Title City. Used to be Title. We're gonna talk about that too. Used to be Title Town, and now it's Title City. You changed that for how long already? Yeah.
Title City Barber has been that name for, I think, 5 years now.
Why
Um,
did you rebrand?
Well, so the thing was, so Titletown was trademarked by the Green Bay Packers. So they have this like, cause in Foxborough, they have this plaza where we ate dinner one time. That's called Patriots Place. So Green Bay Packers has the same type of plaza with restaurants, apartments, and all that stuff, and it's called Titletown. So it's trademarked that. So they reached out to us at the time, Titletown Barbershop, to cease and desist.
Right.
So, or they were going to sue. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go against a big billionaire company. I'll change the name, no problem. So I changed it to Title City Barbers. And, you know.
Did you trademark this time?
Yes, I did. Yes. I learned my lesson.
Yes, we
Yeah.
learned
I think
too.
everything happens for a reason, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Title City.
Yeah, Title City's good. You know, everybody asked, at first, we couldn't really talk about it. So they asked, why you changed the Title City? I was like, oh, because we're expanding to the city. You know, 'cause-
Right.
you know, so
You
that
gave
was,
me that one.
yeah,
That's
I
a good answer.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause, yeah, I didn't know, you know, the legals, what was going to happen. So once my lawyer said, no, you're good to talk about it now. So now I can
Right.
say it. And then yeah, like you said, I like the name Title City.
I like
works,
it too.
Yeah, it works well. I did think of this other name called Trophy Town, but the thing is, Robert Kraft owns that name. He's the owner of the Patriots. So
Wow.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be Trophy Town
So
either.
you have good ideas for names, for brands and stuff.
Sometimes Barber underestimate how important it is to trademark your
Oh, yeah.
brand. So we trademark our name, and I had to send a couple cease and desist letters. Because barbers had no idea. They just think the name Invictus is cool, and they think they can name their shop Invictus, but they can't because we own the trademark. So now that you trademark your brand, you're safe. Now you
Yeah.
can expand and no headaches. And it's good that they send the letter first, because they could sue you right away
Oh, I
and
didn't know
collect
that.
damage. Oh, they can.
Mhm.
If I own the trademark, I don't have to send you any letter. I can sue you and request money because you're infringing my trademark. So they were nice to ask you to do that. I usually do that too. I send a letter. I give them 90 days to rebrand the whole shop because, of course, I don't want to harm anybody. But you can, by law, you can because you own the trademark.
Yeah, we try in the most like
Nice
easiest
way.
and nicest way to.
Mhm.
And Barber should always check the official website for the trademark in the US where you can check the name and you can see if anyone owns that name.
But most people are just like misinformed.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, for
it's
sure.
Just misinformed.
They don't do on
They don't do
purpose.
it on purpose.
Right.
So just correct me, okay, if I'm wrong. You're really famous on the field where people knows you about that you cut Patriots, people's hair,
Athletes.
athletes, famous people, Celtics, basketball players,
Yep.
and also Revolution
Yes.
soccer
Yeah,
players.
that's MLS. Yeah, the soccer.
Tell me how that everything happened. How everything happened, and you start like cutting these people and network with these people. How everything started.
So the first athlete I cut was Nate Robinson from the Celtics, and I got him as a client through a buddy of mine, Adrian Phoenix. He has a barbershop in Brooklyn, New York, and he used to cut a lot of the Knicks guys. So once this player Nate came to the Celtics, he called me and said, "Josh, can you take care of this guy?" I was like, "Of course." And from there, it started a snowball effect where, one referred another. I became friend with his agent, Nate, and then his name is Sylvester. And then Sylvester started putting me on with other athletes. And then, it just became a referral thing, just like normal people, like normal clients refer you. And I got that first connection, like I said, from Adrian. And the thing is, what I tell people, don't burn your bridges.
Right.
Everybody you
Never
see,
do it.
treat them with respect. You know what I mean? I'm saying don't be fake, but just treat them with respect. You don't know who they know and who's their family, who it is. You know what I mean? So don't burn bridges. And just be respectful to everybody because you never know that person might put you on with somebody very special. So then from there, and then snowball effect, and then also I started really. I was never really big in the beginning with the social media, Instagram. That's when I started, really posting and branding, like, my personal page, and that's when other athletes started seeing that too. And then from
So when you start cutting them, you had the title seater already open.
no, I started cutting athletes way before Title City. I started cutting athletes probably it's gonna be 11 years. I started cutting athletes because Title City is probably more. So I started cutting athletes like probably 15 years ago.
Title City is like 7 now.
Yeah, 7. So yeah, I started that, and then from there it just became a snowball effect where now I have international athletes. Like from teams from Roma, end up cutting the hair of the Brazilian soccer team in 2016, and then from there, one person
Just
refer
grew.
another. And thank God, it's been good. Now what I do is when I get some athletes, I just I kind of refer to my barbers. Just so they could they could feel that pride too, feel that that cool sensation of cutting an athlete. And me being so busy now, I can't just take everybody.
You got other stuff to take care of.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Mhm.
But also, what do you say about like? There's a lot of people like struggling, going nuts to trying to get these people attention, trying to be a celebrity barber cutting celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
So your channel was like a network, right?
Yeah.
With someone. But what you like would say that people can do to become a celebrity barber that cuts celebrities too?
Well, social media. Social media is big. If there's a certain athlete that you like that's coming to town or already cuts in your city, so whatever haircut you have that resembles that athlete, tag them. You know what I mean? Don't go tag
That's a
a
good one.
spiky hair to an athlete that has a buzz cut. You know,
Right.
it just doesn't make sense. I'm just, making examples.
That's a good one.
So, and then, little by little, people will see that, And then also, another thing you could do, you could shoot a DM. But what I tell people all the time, don't be like, hey, bro, how you doing? Don't say that. Just say, Boston Barber, if you need one, I'm here for you. Because
That's it.
the first thing they read is the first 3 cents. Because I get DMs too, like, and it shows private. They can't see I read it, but I could read it. But, if the first 3 things I'm going to read, that's what's going to make me
Open or not.
open or not.
Right.
That whole, hey, bro, how you doing? Blah, blah. You know how many?
How many hey bro they get?
Exactly. They have 100,000 or millions of followers. You know how many people are hitting them up every day?
Right.
So if you just hit that up,
I'm a barber.
yeah, that's it. I'm a Deerfield or whatever
Coconut
town,
Creek.
Coconut Creek, barber. I see you in town. Let me know if you need a haircut. I'm here. Something like that.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Great advice. The best one of the night.
So
I believe that.
Those things, they do work. It's probably not going to work the first time, or maybe work the first time, but stay consistent.
Stay consistent.
Stay consistent.
I would say another thing that helps because I see happening is when you, so barbers know other barbers.
Correct.
So if you cut a specific celebrity, and then you're there in Massachusetts, and then they might ask you, "Hey Josh, I'll be in Texas. Do you know a barber there that could take care of me?" So this connection also helps. That
Oh, no, that's so, especially in the world of celebrity barbers, right?
Right.
I don't even like saying that, honestly. But in that world of athlete barbers, let's say, right? There's already a circle of barbers that refer each other.
Yes.
So, because the people who they trust, because especially if you're going to do a house call, right? They want to make sure it's somebody they trust who's coming to their house.
Right.
They don't want no random visitor, So, like today, I went out and I went to see one of my boys, Rico the barber. And, he referred me clients already, athletes. So, and I never met him personally. It was just more, I see your work, I see what you do.
I saw you posted too about him today.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what? I can't come here and not go say thank you
Right.
personally. So I went there and thanked them personally. So that's why I'm saying don't be burning bridges. Don't go
Right.
talking crazy about a barber
Or pushing or
like somebody's work and all that stuff. And it's like, bro, you don't
Never
know who
know.
they know or who they could put you on with. So just stay neutral. Just lay back.
Right. Be approachable. Be nice, right?
Exactly.
Even if it's just through social media, be friends with everybody,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Make relationships and connections.
It's all about love.
And think about
Right.
the words too. Each word that you're gonna write there. Think about each one of them, because it can catch their attention or something like that.
Exactly.
So Elias too, he cut some famous people like way back before he started being famous.
Right.
So that helped him a lot. But let me make a question. Let me ask
a
a question
question.
here. I always say let me make a question. So correct me. Would a barber charge those people money to cut their hair?
If they'll
They
charge
should.
more?
Charge some.
If they should
them.
charge or
should
not.
charge or not.
The
Oh, no.
celebrities.
No, definitely, yeah. So it's what I do. I have my house call rate, and then in the shop, it's the same rate as everybody. Because to me, his hair is hair. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, you're an athlete. You can't be doing that, right? Oh, you're a doctor?
Right.
I'm gonna charge you $80. Oh, you're a landscaper? You're $50.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But house call, I have a rate. And it's also about, all right, what time it is the haircut for.
How far?
How far is the haircut, So I calculate like I'm in the shop.
Yeah.
All right, if I was in the shop and these how many hours, how much money do I make, plus the traveling fee.
You don't
Right.
abuse, even if
No,
it's
no.
athlete.
No,
That's
It's
your
a-
time too, and
No.
your expertise.
no, I don't. No, I don't abuse because the thing is like you want them to keep staying your client.
Yeah.
And then, but always be straightforward with your prices, right front.
Mhm.
Be like, oh, you want my service? Okay, cool. I'll go. What time? This is my price, because you don't want to get there and tell them the price,
Oh
Right.
yeah.
and then they get shocked, or What at
Kind
least
of
be
reject.
straightforward, right from the beginning with
Right.
them.
So another question: from behind the chair, now you own a multiple business. Title Cities, I think, is for me is one of the most like successful and beautiful, and everything. I don't think you have competitors there, because for me you are the best over there in Boston area. And from behind the chair, to a multiple business, what sparkles you? What made you start like starting a business and then kind of grow like the way you're growing now?
No. First, thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it. I feel like we still got a lot of things to work on to be the greatest. And we do have other barbershops there that are very.
You don't know how much you're referenced, bro.
I know, but
You
there's
know.
other people there that's very low key, but they're very great barbershops. And, I learned from a lot from the other business around too. But so it first started the passion, of course, cutting hair and being an artist. And then cutting, one person and then loving it. And then from there, having these ideas, how I wanted the shop to look like, to opening the shop, then having to other barbers work with you and have coworkers. And you see that these people are making money and they're providing for their families. So that's sparking with me, especially being Brazilian, and not seeing that type of business in a barbershop of a Brazilian. You know what I mean? A lot of barbershops I seen where I worked at, it was just not very structured, and became very messy. There was no professionalism where, people were just
Or
playing
a sense of a teamwork.
exactly crazy music playing, and then their mothers come bringing their kids and not feeling comfortable. So I was like, let me create this environment for these customers. And also, barbers, they do mature, they do get older. Like any human being, we get tired of certain things. Before we used to wake up in the morning and blast the music. I can't do that no more. I got to put something to chill.
You got some gray hair on the chin right
Exactly.
there.
We got to relax, you know what I'm saying? Because you got so much to think of, So, and that comes with the barbers. And then barbers were approaching me like, Josh, I really want to work with you. I can't be in a barbershop where it's too crazy anymore. They matured in their career. And there was no other shop like that, where it was a mature shop for a mature barber. And I seen that the guys that were working with me were doing great. Everybody's making good money. Everybody's providing good for their families. So that's when I was like, I got to open more business like this. I got to give more people jobs. So that's why it made me open more businesses. It's to give people more jobs and give them a place to work at, a professional place.
Wow, you know what I was thinking now about this? Because what happened is like this. Most of the time, actually, tell me your thoughts about this. Because most of the time, barbers, we have our dream of open our own shop. Most of us, from like 100 of us, like maybe 99%, we have this dream, right? But imagine the old times barber, like we used to be, the places that we used to work. The first idea, what you saw, what we lived, what you experienced, was that scenario, was that environment, and then you kind of just open up a shop and replicate the same idea.
Correct.
So in that, the grows just the culture just grows strong the same way it is as always. But once you do what you did, now you give an opportunity to other barbers looking at you and say, wow, this is different than when I started 20 years ago with you at the other shop, at Grandes Ligas Barbershop. Everything's changed. So you raise the bar. Now when someone work with you for certain years and then they're going to open their own, they're not going to look at the other shop as a reference. They're going to look at you and say, this is something different. This is something that I want to have something like this or even better. So that's kind of what we can call raise the bar. So tell me your thoughts on this.
No, that's a perfect scenario you brought because it has happened to us where people barbers who have left open a shop. They open to to the same style of hours. But and I love it because now it's bringing barbering to its professionalism, which it was like in the 1940s, where you seen the people nicely dressed with nice comb hair, and then now it's that professionalism where customers they see, wow, that's a barber, and that's how a barber should look like. That's how a barber, should be working at. And so, I feel like I love it. I hope it keeps continuing. People opening more shops like yours, like mine. It just keeps growing, and it becomes this very high platform of a people are actually gonna, like we have now. We know young kids, right?
Uh-huh.
That opening barbershops or becoming barbers because they see us and they're inspired and like, wow, that's what I want to be. I want to be a barber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So before it wasn't, nobody would be like, I want to be a barber. Unless you grew in a family of barbers or you're very artistic. But now people like people that don't even aren't artistic or people, don't even care about hair. They're like, there's investors, right? Now they see investors. I'm pretty sure approach you guys, approached me, and just I want to get into this thing, this barbering world because they see how what we brought it up to.
And I think we lived in a period that, and a little bit before us too, our time, there were become a barber wasn't something that great. Become a barber was the last resort for whoever was failing in life, right?
Yeah.
And now, like you say, we have a more barbers that is thinking outside the box and change the culture. So that's what I wanna. We're talking here. But one question: tell them about the difficulties and challenges because you're a barber, no business, no much responsibilities, no overhead costs, no planning, nothing. Now you're a barbershop owner. Tell me about the challenges that you didn't have. Now you have the experience and you went through, you go through, now you learned. And tell me about a little bit about the challenge that you had being a barbershop owner now.
So, when I first opened my barbershop, I was just a barber. Now I'm an owner, but I still had the mentality I'm a barber too. And my coworkers, my barber coworkers, I wanted everybody to make money. I'm like, I want everybody to make money. I want everybody to do good. But, you know, us barbers, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are not good with numbers. You know what I mean?
Most.
We don't.
Yeah.
We're not good with numbers. So we're like, all right, let me give you this much. Let me give you that much. And then you start. Then end of the day, end of the month, your bank accounts are red. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, wow, what happened? Everybody's making great money, thank God, but the business is not making money. So that was a big adjustment for me to learn how to play with numbers, and how to learn how much should I do with this, how much should I do at that. Learn about, okay, there's transaction fees, there's this, there's that, and I have to pay insurance, I have to do all this other stuff. So those were the biggest challenge for me was numbers, to learn numbers and really be a businessman. And, thank God, like I have my wife who crunches numbers. I have my sister. So now, I have another, people that do that for me. But, in the beginning, it took me a while to understand that and, and get where I'm at now. And that's one of the biggest challenges. Like, barbers, you have to educate yourself with numbers. If you're not great with numbers, because that's big in business, is knowing numbers and knowing your breakdown, put everything in paper and pen, just don't assume, and
What happened to us? We work all day, stack cash in his pocket,
mm-hmm.
stack cash in his pocket, and then at the end of the day, you don't know where the money came
Exactly.
from, where the money go,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how it happened. My wife, she's the one that is crunching numbers.
Yeah.
She's the one that organized my whole life, the barbershop, my dog's life, everything else. I'm the artist, but we've been investing in ourselves as well, like in understand business because, like you say, most of us, I came from that background, you as well, that we had to learn.
Yeah.
But we can't force people, but at least we talk in here and bring that up for them, some information about it. That helped me a lot. So you open one shop, then the second, then the third. It gets easier or it gets worse?
No, it does get easier. Just because once you have a blueprint, you just follow it. Just follow that blueprint. Of course, you're gonna tweak it here and there. Of course, because you want to tweak it to get better. And also, I have my family. It's a family business. It's my wife, my father, my sister. So everybody plays a role in the shop, and that helps me. That takes a lot of weight off my shoulders. So that's why it became a little easier. But like I said, have a blueprint. Once you have a blueprint, just follow that blueprint, stay consistent. And, every shop has a blueprint. There's no wrong, there's no right blueprint. Every shop has their own culture. To me, it's whatever makes you happy. If it's making you happy, good. But always don't be hard-headed. There's always room for improvement in your business. And some people are hard-headed. They be like, oh, this is fine like this. At first I used to be like, bro, you should do this, you should do that. But then people are like, I was like, you know what? Let them do what they want to do. And who am I to say anything either? So let them do what they do. I'll keep doing mine.
If they ask,
if they
you
ask,
can
cool.
help. Yeah.
I'll share my knowledge because the knowledge is supposed to be shared.
Right.
You got to share knowledge because once you bless somebody, more blessings will come, onto you, And of course, don't share your numbers, your private numbers. Yeah, but anything that you see in their business, because I'll get people message me, Josh, what do you see? I was like, well, do this, change that, Like I had another guy hit me up the other day, and then I seen he had a shop, but he had he had his personal page, then he had the shop page in one. So I was like, bro, you got to separate that.
Split out those.
You got to have your personal page, and then your barber page. And he did that, and I was like, now you could grow your business. Because you can't blend those two together. Your personal life is different, than your barbershop business.
Right.
So those are little simple things, but certain things. Everybody has their blueprint, and I'm still learning from other shops too. Because I'm always researching other shops all day. I'm looking through other shops. Oh, that's what he has. Oh, that's what she has. Oh, cool. All right, let me get that idea. You know what I mean?
And implement on your way. You're not copying. You kind of
get inspired.
Exactly.
Inspired,
Exactly.
Yeah, we get a lot of inspiration from business from other industries, not necessarily barbershops. So wherever we go or any business model that we see, like, oh, this is cool, we try to get inspired and create new ideas for the barbershop. Or for here, for instance, this studio was inspired by Airbnb, and it works like Airbnb, so people can rent and come and use the studio, and I'm not here. They are able to record on their own. So I got inspired by Airbnb. The automations we have at the barbershop, I got inspired by my Pilates studio, where everything is automated in a way that you go online, you book your class, and that's it. You just show up. It's like amazing. It's seamless. Like you book and you go. So we got inspired a lot by that, and we did automations at the barbershop to work that way. You go online, you get your spot, you come, it's paid already, you get your haircut, you leave. So we get a lot of inspiration from other industries,
especially us. We're artists, so we get inspired easily by other artists. That happens. I see the light bulb goes off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one time I went to get a facial. My wife, we did it like a couple's facial, whatever, and the woman put the hot towel, but then there was a smell in the hot towel. And I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "Eucalyptus." I was like, where'd you get it? Then
How
from
do I
there,
do
I'm like,
that?
okay, every hot towel shave is gonna have
the scent,
we
right?
put the scent.
We do the same.
So it's just those little things that you see.
Yes.
Everywhere I go, I'm looking around. You know what I'm saying? And like, by the way, this is a beautiful studio. You guys build a very beautiful studio. And a lot of people would love to have this.
Right.
Because it's just a dedication, and I love the setting. Everything's beautiful. Like. If you guys ever come here, or the viewers ever come here, you guys will love it. There's other things going on outside there too. There's a coffee. It's really beautiful.
And you work like Airbnb. You go online, you rent. You get a first time tour to understand the equipment, and then you're good to go. But it was all inspired by Airbnb. And then
they get to use all these top-notch technology.
See, we're changing the camera here. We can put your Instagram here, Josh.
And this stuff is not cheap. I could tell just by looking at it.
Yes, we got
So,
the top equipments available in the market.
so you guys that want to do a podcast, come here at Coconut Creek,
South Florida.
Invictus
Podcast
Podcast.
studios.
You guys have to come here. It's beautiful.
And it was an inspiration we
Yeah.
saw somewhere, and then we're like, you know what, this is a really cool business idea,
Mhm.
business model. We're always getting inspired by stuff, right?
Yes.
And another thing that helps me too is mentors. Always, try to find some 1 or 2, 3 maybe mentors. You find somebody in your field or somebody who's doing really great. Reach out to them. Don't be shy. Reach out to them. Hey, I love what you're doing.
Even if you have to pay a price, like in
Exactly.
money or energy,
Uh-huh.
or have to travel,
You know how much time that'll save you?
Oh,
How much
yeah.
Headache-
money that will save you, and
headaches,
headache. Yeah.
So you hit them up. I love what you're doing. Can I pick at your brain?
Right.
So at least I hit up so many people and probably only 3 responded, but those 3 has been so great to me still, because the people who are doing great, they're not scared of competition.
Exactly.
They're not scared of that stuff. Like, they know it's going to come back to them and they know they're at a certain situation. So, like now, that's why I give people ask me certain things, I'll tell you. There's
And the
hidden-
energy you put it out is the one energy you receive always.
Exactly.
Too,
And
Uh,
successful people, they're not competing. Like,
Mhm.
they know that you're starting. They know you're so far away from where they are. They actually want to help you.
Yeah.
Most of them would help you for free. We are at this moment helping a barber to open his own shop.
Mhm.
And, like, what harm this could cause to us? It's a small
Yeah.
mentality. Think like, oh, no, I'm
we
not
have
going to
we have a
help.
bunch of people that reach out to us too and ask us, man, we donate our time for that person. We just
I
like
don't mind sharing
yeah.
whatever I learned
And
so that
knowledge.
person doesn't have to make the mistakes I made.
No, exactly.
Because it cost me so much.
Uh-huh.
Why not share, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have their own route, their own path to walk
Right.
through. But meaning that some things you can teach, some things you can say, some information you can share. But at the end of the day, the person is gonna have to walk through that path, right?
Exactly.
And
The
they
same
have dreams and ambitions and
ambition.
desires different than ours.
Mhm.
Each one has their own dreams, and why not help, right?
Josh, tell me your thoughts about, like, we worked for someone else before at someone else's shop, and we have the mentality of dress the way we want to dress. We start working the time that we want to start, like 9 in the morning or noon in the afternoon, like, because we are artists and we are like self-employed, like we can say. Like barbers, we have this mentality that we have our chair. We are like that chair is our own business.
Mhm.
So now, having your own business, now you're a leader. What do you have to say for those people that is still like don't understand about that charity is your business, treat as one?
I tell them, just look at every successful business. What do you see? Structure. Everywhere you go, you see people that at least dress professionally or they're dressed alike.
Right.
They have a time to come in, a time to leave,
Mm-hmm.
and those are successful businesses. Like I said, there's a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Just copy the blueprint and just tweak it to your own culture. There's nothing wrong if people want to dress differently, all different, or they come in whatever time. Like I said before, people could do whatever they want. They're going to do however they want to do their business. But if you want to have a successful business, there needs to be a structure. There needs to be house rules. Your hair nicely combed, you're nicely groomed.
How we communicate.
How we communicate, how you treat people. And so those are things that I look at a lot. I was like, why is that person doing so great? So then I start, analyzing that person. And from there, I'm like, oh, okay, that person inspired me. I got to change a couple of my ways or my business structure, because if they're doing great or if that business is doing great, is because
They're doing something right.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So that's what I tell people. Like, and we have a system in our shop. We have house rules. Yes, we have 1099s, right? Because independent contracts. But in there, I tell them, hey, we still got house rules.
Right.
If you start at 9, That's your time, 9. But if you can't come in at 9, something happened today, it's fine. Just let me know ahead of time.
That's it.
You know,
Right.
but don't call
so
me.
you don't book a client at 9 and the
Just
person
rearrange
doesn't
everything
show
else.
up.
Because the barbershop, it's a easy business to handle in a way. Like it's not like you're super tough, this and that. It's all about communication, And then I tell my barbers and then, my coworkers, I'd be like, hey, just communicate with us. Let us know what's going on ahead of time, And then we'll work around that. We could call a client, do this, that. But if you're gonna come with the mentality, I do as I want, move as I want, whatever. Not here, buddy. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
because we have clientels, and clientels trust the brand. They trust you as a barber to be professional and be there, take care of them. Because our clientele, like a lot of other people, they got lives, they got things to do. You know what I mean? Barbers forget, or stylists or whatever. We are service people. We're here to service people. That it is what it is.
We're here to serve them.
We're here to serve them. If you look at history of barbering, they've been serving people, and that's what we do. It's a beautiful thing to serve somebody. When you serve somebody, what I mean, you just be blessed so much.
The more you serve, the more you bless too.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's people. Sometimes I see certain barbers, their egos like up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this client, da da da, blah blah blah. Bro, that client's writing you a check.
Right. You should be grateful
should
he's coming to you.
Yeah. So be there. Be
Right.
on time. Be there 10 minutes early. Pull your hot towels. Clean your station. Have that person ready.
Have a smile in your face
Have
at
a
least.
smile. Exactly.
Right.
Like sometimes people will have like 30 stations, 30 chairs, and then, and you're charging this much. I always give an example. Imagine if you go to a really nice steakhouse and you sit down at a table, you see crumbs all over your table.
Right.
Do you want to eat there?
Or the server coming grumpy and treating you bad, in a
Exactly.
certain way. Yeah.
Or like, I give an example. I was like, bro, imagine you go to a steakhouse. All of a sudden you see a waiter come in with sweatpants to serve you.
Flip-flops.
Yeah, flip-flops.
How are you gonna feel
Yeah,
about it?
with messy hair, smell like cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel? So think about that when you're a barber. You always got to think, how's this person going to feel the way? Or answer phone calls while I'm, cutting
While
hair.
We used to see that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Like I tell my barbers, you can answer your phone, but excuse yourself.
Right.
And be like, hey, give me 1 second. I just got to answer this call. Everybody's going to respect that.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're there, yeah, bro, da-da-da-da-da, or whatever it is, talking to your girl, hey, baby, what we got for dinner tonight, or something like that,
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's
Not
like
important.
it's like, the waiter comes to your table, you're in the middle of telling what the waiter you want, and he'd be like, oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah, bro, yeah, we'll be out. Like, that's just rude,
Yes, that's rude.
So, it's that mentality, I think, is like, great. If you want to do that, fine, do it, but you're not, 100% you're not going to be successful that way.
Right.
So.
Truly believe that, man. Wow, there's a great insights here today.
Yeah.
So, Josh, starting from, let's go back 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw, I can't have empathy for that because I wasn't on your skin, but I saw your growth. I saw how much you kind of walked through, all the things that you have learned from everything you had, you've been through, everything you learned, all the experience, all throughout all these years, being a barber behind the chair, working for someone else, dealing with the culture that we used to do, now become the person that you became, right? There's anything that you regret, or anything that you kind of definitely you would do differently at this time?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things was if you're feeling a certain way and something's going on with you, what's going on with you, get help. It's like, go find a therapist, go find
A mentor.
Or a pastor or
exactly.
anything.
Yes, your leader.
Anyone.
You're the leader in your spiritual group. Just go find that. Don't let, because the thing is, I grew up Brazilian, Latin, right? We got that machismo in us,
Right.
So there's no such thing as depression. There's no such thing as being tired.
Mm-hmm.
There's, and just like me coming here to the United States, I was 5 years old. My parents, they were young parents. My mom was 16 when she had me. My dad was 17. So by the time I came here, they were still in the early 20s, like 21, 20, whatever, right? And, they were learning how to become parents themselves. But they were working 3 jobs. I mean, just being out and about, just being a kid. And so those things really came about when I got older, and also, like I said earlier, there's no such thing as depression in the Latin community, right?
Right.
And so for that, I didn't get the help. So from that, I started getting help in different ways. I started getting drunk a lot. I started abusing substance abuse. I started partying a lot. I started, womanizing a lot. And those things, to me, I was just numbing myself from my own pain. And then that took a big toll in my life where it set me back, and all of a sudden I'm inside this hole, and, and I went through some bad situations where, thank God I never like wanted to kill myself or anything like that, but where I was so depressed, because let's say you go out the night before, party hard, whatever, do whatever you got to do. The next day, everything hits you and you're so depressed the next day, you don't even have strength to leave your house. And that used to happen days on, days off. And that took a toll on my life where, I wasn't seeing my kids. I was not being a responsible father. Or also I was not going to work and I was leaving clients hanging.
No perspective of life, right?
No, I didn't care. I was numb. I just didn't care about life. And I was selfish too.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people that loved me and I wasn't loving myself, so I couldn't even love them. So that's, thank God, with a lot of prayers, I woke up. I was like, bro, I really got to figure out my life. I'm losing everything, And, I lost my license, my driver's license. I lost my car. I haven't seen my kids in a long time. I owed a lot of money in child support, all that other stuff. Like, just came of just the life I was doing. I had a shop before I had Title City. I lost that shop just because of my party life, But fast forward, I woke up. I went and seen a therapist. It was funny. I went to see.
That was the day you chose to like change the scenario of your life.
I was like, I got to figure this out. So I went to see a therapist, and I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes back then. So
You still smoke?
Huh?
You still smoke?
No, it's been like, I don't know. Yeah, it's been like 10 years I don't smoke. More, I don't know. But so I told the therapist, she's like, what's the biggest thing you want to do right now? It's like, I want to stop smoking cigarettes. It's like, okay, whenever you have the urge to smoke a cigarette, just give it an extra minute. Don't smoke right away. It's gonna go. It's gonna pass. So I started using that technique. Like even when I feel a little angry, I'm like, you know what? Let me cool down. Give it a minute. So I started doing that, and then I went and saw my pastor, Pastor Paul, explained my situation, and a lot of prayers, a lot of talking, and it wasn't easy. It was not like boom, I changed. But little by little, once I fell, like before I used to fall, and I stay down, right? Now I fall, I get up, and it's like, oh, there's a bump. All right, cool. I tripped, get up, So it's not a situation like, boo, I feel bad, like, I'm down.
And blaming others.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or victimizing, like, poor me.
Exactly. So now I tell people all the time, it's like, yo, mental health is a big problem. So if whatever got you to where you're at, or whatever in your past, or whatever lifestyle you lived that got you where you're at, go get help. Go see a therapist. Sometimes, I have people go, oh, I went to a therapist, it didn't work out. I'm like, bro, it's like a barber. Sometimes the first barber's not going to work out.
Right.
They're not going to understand what you need.
Right.
Go to the second barber. And then the third barber, like, wow, you got what I need. You understood me,
Right.
And so it's like, that's the same way as a therapist. You got to, find that therapist. Maybe the first one's not going to be right, the second one. But you got to talk to somebody like when I say talk to somebody, not just any random people. Talk to professionals.
Someone that can actually help you.
Exactly.
And give you
not your friend that you chill with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
You smoke with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think you made choice to become better, to grow. When was that? When that happened? When that turned? How old were you?
So it was
Just saying, I was 29.
Yeah.
It took me
Yes.
29 years to like, wow, I don't want to live this life for the rest of my life. You know,
I'm thinking it was 29 also, or
no
if not
way.
30. Um, just because I'm just thinking of my wife right now because when I met my wife, that's when it kind of hit me when I was like,
The same.
I gotta change, bro. You know, I
No
gotta.
woman wants to be with a man, not a loser. That in that situation, they look at you like, this is going to be the
There's no
father of my
future.
kids.
Yeah.
This is going to
Yeah.
be the person that is going to provide for me. No,
No.
he ain't
Hell
that
no.
person.
Yeah.
So you might lose a good woman because of that, right?
Exactly. And then when I met Alex, which is her biological son and my son, right? When I met Alex, uh, I seen him. I was like, wow, this is an awesome kid. This is a beautiful kid. And then I was like, damn, what about my kids? Where's my kids? You know what I mean? And I went like, a year, stop, go, not seeing my kids. I was like, bro, what am I doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's when it just, I was already fixing myself, but that's when it really pushed me too. I was like, yo, I gotta get my kids. I gotta, be around my kids. They need me. So those things, made me really push. So it's just like I said before, you just get help.
And my wife changed everything in my life too. I think it's all about choice, and it's all about that's what I did. Okay, I was in the same situation, same thing you were explaining. I was doing the same thing, partying, womanizing, everything else you can think about it. And then I say, you know what? I want to stop with this. Before I met her, and for 3 months, I was just like hanging out, like on a barbecue, movie theaters. I used to call my friends, big African American guy, Fabiano. Hey, bro, let's go watch a movie. I want to go to a
Imagine
bar, but I
those
say, let's go to two guys. And then I started
was-
doing that stuff. Went to church. I was going to a Catholic church. And then once I start like aiming myself to the goodness, to do something good in life, and then everything start happening good in my life.
Yeah.
And then she came, and then everything else came along.
No, it was not that beautiful and easy.
I mean, no, I mean,
in the sense that we were both young and
personal,
stupid and,
yeah.
and making bad decisions
We
for
had a lot
ourselves.
to
And then
learn.
we learned and grew together. But we were partying too and drinking and doing stupid things that wouldn't take us nowhere
Yeah.
until we realized like, oh, this is not taking us anywhere.
No.
let's change let's change the direction of our life.
Like if you do it now, like just do it socially, relax. It doesn't. You don't
Yes.
have to be that abusive.
Yes.
We're older now. The next day, wake up hurting. Like
Exactly. And
you
you're
can't
like feeling like crap because you're not hungover,
Yeah.
and then you're not productive, and then you're not learning new things, and then you're not doing a good job
And you lose
at
good
your
opportunities
work.
too, because as a business owner today, I look at someone like that, say, I want to help that person, but I was there. I didn't know better. I don't want to be helped. I mean, subconscious, I want to be helped, but at the same, at the moment, like you're not thinking.
Yeah.
And you lose a lot of opportunities. Like I
Right.
look at people today, like I want to give you a hand, I want to help you, but I think, but that in that situation, they don't even notice how bad that is causing, them. So I'm picking on your brain today here, okay? Well, it's good chatting you, man. I didn't know you that mature. You got all that.
It's
that-
been a
that-
long time
It's
that you
been a
guys
long
don't
time that we don't
talk,
chat.
right?
So
Yeah.
wow, you really evolved. You really changed your mindset. That's amazing. Thank you.
No
I love
problem.
that.
Thank you. But it's just like, don't get me wrong. I'm human in a day. You know what I mean? I make mistakes still this day, but I'm quick to say sorry, forgive me. Let's build from
And
this.
tomorrow we need to be another man, a different
Exactly.
person.
Right.
You know, even like sometimes, some days I'm not the best husband to my wife. And I'm quick to apologize and I'm sorry. Probably takes me a second to analyze it and understand what I did
Right.
wrong. You know, what I mean? but hey, I'm
You
sorry.
guys never know what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Never.
So it's just like, at the day, I'm still learning to become a man, and still learning to be a good human, still, like they say in church, walk like Jesus, you know what I mean? And do
Right.
Jesus things, So, in the day, I'm still, sometimes I'll probably drink a little too much. Or sometimes, I'll get angry too fast, But, sometimes my car I'm driving, I'm like, Deus, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
And cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I cry by
Yeah.
myself. Like,
oh yeah, because I got my worship music going
yeah,
on.
me too.
And then I'm having like flashbacks of the past, and I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm like, and then I'm so grateful where I'm at now, and I'm like, wow, I really own this house. I really, got these businesses. I got all these friends that work with me. You know what I mean? Like, like people we work with, like Pito and stuff like that. Just like, wow, he's here with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are just things that, sometimes you're like, wow, but like I said, we're still human, guys. All right, ladies, we're
Right.
still human. We can make mistakes. Don't kick yourself too much in the butt. Just,
Yeah.
Yes.
use that as a learning curve and move on.
I believe that Jesus let that we go through those stuff to get us more stronger, because he knows at the end we're gonna be able to spread what we have good in us to other people, get a positive impact in other people's lives, right? Quick question for you. So if, like, we had our dream of opening our own shop one day, and there's many barbers out there that are listening to this. Okay, I'm gonna cut right on this one. So, what the advice you give it to someone that wants to open their own shop right now? There's anything they should do, and they should not do? What?
Definitely have a game plan, everything written down, the expenses, a structure, and have at least, I'll say, 5 to 6 months worth of savings for rent, just to cover anything else. And
What about mentality?
the mentality that comes with time,
Yeah. You have to go through the experiences, right? To
you have to go through
mature and learn and
exactly. Some people are born like this. My old boss, Jonathan, what I mean? Like, from Loyalty Barbershop, right? This guy was, at the time I joined him.
I knew a kid from there. A young dude. He's like a blonde kid, like shorty. What's his name?
What's his nationality?
I think he's half from Brazilian, half an American. Remember that kid from Loyalty Barbershop in Framingham?
Hugo, he's probably talking about?
Hugo.
Hugo, yeah.
Hugo.
It's funny. I just cut Hugo's hair. Jonathan's cut his hair. Hugo used to work at a pizza shop.
He's a great barber.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful work, right?
Yeah, beautiful work.
Beautiful, clean work. And
The kid that has a French bulldog. He has a tattoo.
oh, okay.
The barbershop was on a corner.
Okay.
Over there.
yeah. And so when I worked with Jonathan, I came. That's what I was trying to change my life, right? And he offered me a position in his shop. And that time, we used to work with a lot of, we used to take our time doing our phase, whatever. And I see Jonathan banging out haircuts, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh, cool.
What was his time?
He was like maybe a 20-minute, 30-minute barber with a skid fade and a beard, And this kid,
Wow.
I'll call him a kid because at the time he was 20 years old, right? Now he's a grown man, whatever. But, and then, and just seeing his maturity in things in life, And then one thing I remember he was saying to me was, a certain situation happened in his past, and he said, Josh, I don't want that happen to me in my future, what I seen this happen in the past. And he used that as a life lesson. He didn't use that as a poor me type of
Right.
situation. And that's one thing that sparked me too, was just like, this guy just got it. He understands, And then fast forward, he sold his shop. He had 6 properties already, and he was only like late 20s.
Whoa.
And he lives now in Florida over here, bought a nice house, So some people got it like that, but some people like myself didn't.
Me too.
So-
it took us
Some
a
people
long
like
time.
Tico.
I believe it's never late, but
No.
but the earlier you get it,
The better.
That's dope. That's awesome.
Imagine
Yeah.
how your life could be
Oh my
if you
God.
had, this mature mentality when you were like 18, 20. Oh,
Exactly.
you'd be in a whole different place right now.
So now, like, with my kids, right, I'm very honest and blunt with them. I tell them what happened with me, what happened, what was the mistakes I made, and I tell them, guys, it's funny because, my father used to tell me certain things too. I'm like, oh, he's just old school. But it's not. It's just, that's what it is, So, and so I tell my kids, like, I was like, bro, don't do this because of this. This is the consequences you'll get out of this. Don't go through this. Don't do that. It's so, but they still got to go through their own journey, right?
Right.
But like going back to your question, Chico, like they just got to mature in it, and hopefully they. What I tell people, please be open minded. Accept how you say constructive criticism, and don't be butthurt when you get it. I see a lot of people get butthurt. You tell them, bro, I think you're doing a great job, but just instead of doing this, why don't you do this? And even by saying that, sometimes people
They get offended.
They get offended.
Yeah.
And they don't learn because they shut down their.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how.
They're not listening anymore. They don't want to listen because you're criticizing them.
Exactly, and then or saying you tell them just anything they're just not open minded, or they just think they're the best already. Like especially in barbering or any beauty field, like you're always learning. You're constantly learning. You learn from the guy who just left barber school and joined your chair, and you're like, oh, that's how she or he does it. You know what I mean? Like,
Man,
wow, that's a cool trick.
The time that we have here in this planet, this life, is not enough time to learn a lot or
No.
learn everything.
There's not enough hours in a day. It's just like you sleep for 5 hours, whatever, and the rest of the hours you're running around trying to solve things.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also on top of that, there's distractions.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it's like you forget. Sometimes also you got an hour or two distracted out of your life. You were doing something that had nothing to do productive, and then it happens. Unfortunately, it happens.
Uh-huh.
So like there's like you said, Chico, there's just not enough time in a lifetime.
Lifetime.
Not enough hours.
Yeah, I'm an eternal learner, man. Because the more I learn, the more I can overflow in other people's.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that with information, with knowledge, with a hug, with a beautiful smile, being positive, how much I have changed and how much I can change people around me.
Mm-hmm.
That for me, there's no money that can pay that.
Yeah.
If you ask me, Tico, what was your biggest achievement? How much I have changed for good,
Yeah.
for better. And you?
No, same.
Same?
Yeah, I changed, and thank God I changed, and a lot of people tell me, "Hey, Josh, you motivated me do this or that," and even though I still don't tap myself in the back for it, I'm like, "No, bro, you did it yourself." But certain people say that to me, certain things, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm very appreciative," And then my kids, they tell they love me, and that's the best feeling ever,
There's no money can buy that.
No, they be like, "Yo,
Right.
Dad, I love you, thank you," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, damn, all right, thank you," So,
Mhm.
yeah, so it's good.
So I don't know how I'm gonna ask that question. Trying to organize this question with me. But
Okay.
the question is
Is it your last question?
no.
How many do you have?
I have maybe 2.
Okay.
No, one. Last one.
Okay.
Maybe last one. So we learned, we lived, we have experience about many things now. We are where we are. I believe I'm a humble person. I want the best for everybody. I believe you're the same. Now picking in your brain and saying all the things that you're saying. But what sets apart, what makes people get to the top? Some people and some people don't get to the top, meaning being successful somehow. Let's talk about our industry. Just don't become just a barber behind the chair, but do something about it. Meaning, don't try to impress people, but express who you are, what you're doing somehow. Like I teach people, I love to see people, taking a path, a career, and have their dreams by me help them or in the way. But what is the
question?
The question was that. So what is the difference? What sets people apart? The people that get to the top and some people that never get to the top.
Well, from certain experience I've been through and I seen happen, where we come back to that what I was saying, service. Serve somebody. If you're working somewhere, I'm not saying bend down to the person's knees, but serve them good. Like, whatever that shop or that business needs, you're there. You're on top of it, and you by serving that business, that person, they're going to help you grow. They're going to make sure you grow, and yes, there's bad seeds out there. Yes, I know there is. but most of the times they will help you, or other people will see you doing a great job.
Those people sit on the waiting area,
Uh-huh.
looking at
See you,
what
watching
you're
you.
doing
They're
and watching
watching
what you're
you.
doing and watch how you talk and how you express yourself.
You know, they'll be
and
like,
everything.
and then they'll see you servicing that person the best you can, or that company the best you can, and they'll be like, this person does a great job. I want this person. You know what I mean? I want this person as my business partner. Because, you know, there's investors. You know, they'll be like, you know, I need I don't know about this business, but this person knows about this business. I want this person as my partner. You know? And like you said, Chico, there's people in the background. They're watching. There's always somebody watching. You know, and they're watching you. They're watching every move. And if
They
that
can
person...
judge you for good
Uh-huh.
or for bad.
Exactly.
They can open doors or not.
Yeah, and a lot of people that became successful because they served very well. You know, that person who they served for, or that company they served for, helped them, or the person that was watching was like, because there's a lot of recruiters out there. If you see online recruiters always trying to get, you know, employees in other companies,
Yes.
they see people, they're watching people. Like, oh, this person grew in this business, person achieved this person achieved 1 million sales for this company on this time of period. I want this person. You know what I mean? So I think service, you know, serving
Wow,
people.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Serving people,
Yeah.
serving others. I
Yeah.
think in the book,
Which one?
Outwitting the Devil. You ever heard?
No.
Should read, bro.
Mais esperto que o diabo.
Chama
Oh
mais
my
perto que o
God.
diabo.
Oh,
Outwitting-
smart. Outwin. How is?
Outwitting
Yeah, I think I heard of that. Yeah,
Out-
yeah.
That
Outwitting
book
the-
is amazing.
Yeah.
is amazing. It just say like that. Napoleon Hill asked the devil. He makes some questions. It's a big story, but Napoleon Hill asked the devil, like, what will change? How somebody can, how to say alienated? Alienated?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm sorry.
I think it's
Do you know what
alienated.
is alienado in Portuguese?
Yeah.
No, I
it's-
don't. My Portuguese is kind of bad.
Check on Google. Alienado.
Okay, when a person
find
is, I think, is alienated in certain way, they bring a lot of bad things to their life, and they're never gonna be successful. And Napoleon Hill asked the devil, how this person can get out of this situation and be successful in life, and he says, by serving. Wow, it came up to the
Yeah.
same word you're saying,
Yeah.
same thing.
I think, yeah, that's one of the biggest key things, like serving people, serving your family, serving your mother, serving your father, you know, and you'll be blessed, you know, like in the Bible says, you know, serve your parents,
Serve.
you know, and I live by that, and I've been doing that, not willingly and knowing, mostly my whole life. Sometimes I serve the wrong people, you know, and that kicked me in the butt. Was best friends with the wrong person, you know what I mean? You know, had relationships with the wrong person, you know, and that set me back. That really messed me up. So also when you serve, make sure you serve a good person, because if you're under a person who abuses and just takes advantage of you, of course, you don't serve that person. you
Right.
know,
You can help in a way, but
use your common sense too, guys. Like,
Yeah, to know when to serve, when not.
who to serve.
Who
you know?
to serve. Exactly.
I believe I have two questions in one
Sure.
to finish.
Shoot.
One, what would you change in our culture, in the barbering culture? And second, leave some phrase or anything that you have in mind that will help the listeners, whoever are listening to this podcast, in our industry, beauty industry in general. So 2 questions in one.
All right. First question: What I
would
see
you
in the
change?
to change the
What
barber.
would you change in the barbering industry?
I think the biggest thing will probably be the ego and the criticism of each other. You know what I mean? Like, don't, like, bro, who cares who's doing what? You know, I'm like, are they hurting you? Are they taking money out of your pockets? No, so don't worry about them, you know? I think that's one of the biggest things, the ego. You guys, people need to relax with their ego. You know, just
They try to impress too much with
Yeah.
their egos too. And
exactly. It's like they're judging too much people. I was like, and sometimes the people that are judging, they don't even have that many years in their belt. You know, like usually the person's there who've been there for a while. There's some that still do, but most of them don't, you know, but just relax. Embrace this career. Embrace this journey of yours.
And how beautiful is this?
Yes,
career, right?
you know, take care of it. Have positive mentality towards it. You know, I think that's the most important thing. Just embrace it, slow down the egoness, you know, and just chill out and enjoy the ride. Um, what was the other thing you
The
said?
other one is just drop on the table anything they would like to say. That for people that are listening, something positive, something that young barbers, beautypreneurs, barbers there now that we know. Wallace Blends, he's open up his shop. So anything that nature.
I think just be respectful to one another. Be respectful to your coworkers, especially people who. To grow, you need a team.
You need people.
You need people. You need people to help you grow. You can't grow by yourself. You know, and it's like Jesus had his 12 disciples. He had a team. You know, so it's just like you need people to help you. So don't abuse your power. Be respectful. Learn what you need to learn from each other. You know, and like we said earlier, you know, before you really get into this business, pick at people's brains, write things down. So those type of things, just take care of your people. But of course, you know, not where it's gonna hurt you like I did, like where I overpaid. You know what I mean? Like, and so, but just those things. There's a lot more. I'm sure it's just not gonna come to the top of my head right now. But one of those biggest things, just be respectful to people. And if something does go wrong, be quick to say sorry. You know, and just be apologetic and be open-minded.
Don't hold the grudge, right?
Exactly. You know, tomorrow's another day. There's worse things going out there than somebody yelling at you today.
Yes. Tomorrow everything. I always say tomorrow the sun will rise again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, you heard the man. Josh is a good friend. Thank you very much. It's an honor picking in your brain. I bet this, I think you say I bet, right? I bet this podcast will help a lot of people that are listening because you have a beautiful story. You know, you couldn't share everything here in 1 hour. Is it what, 1 hour?
Yes.
It's just 1 hour to share your whole story, but we're going to have another chance to do that. And thank you very much for coming. Guys, Josh is a good friend, been a friend. We started cutting hair 20 years ago at the same shop, Grandes Ligas Barbershop, Papalotti's, Levy.
Yes.
And shout out to
them.
Shout out to these guys. I'll reach out to Papalotti a lot.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Pito, too, that works with you today, supporting you over there, and you supporting him. And thank you, man, for everything you have said. That will help a lot of people. And guys, you have watched. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, because every time you having these guys here, this type of person with this baggage they call, with all this information and knowledge sharing here, just subscribe so you can't miss. Thank you very much once again, Josh. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace out, guys.